Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got something nice for you today. Look, one-page lesson, but it should be real informative. That's my point. That's my goal. That's what I'm doing. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tuning and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission. That's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment. Excuse me, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where we going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you had an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, because you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Mayat, be true. Speaking of Mayat, coming up with the female goddess in one next lesson. Right thinkers, let's talk about the illusionariness of creation. What are you talking about illusion? This world here is an illusion. That world that you go to in that deep sleep that you don't recognize, don't realize, or don't remember when you come out of it, that's the real world. Let's talk about it. Ain't but one page of information. I'm going to break this down. Hopefully I can get the point across. Now, according to the Memphite theology, okay, the Memphites are what Ptah uttered himself into creation. So we're going to do their little concept right here. And it's Ptah, his wife Sekhmet, his son was Nefertim, the beautiful one, okay, the one born out of the lotus flower. But he's equivalent to Haru. Still, me and you. All right, so let's go. We're going to deal according to the Memphite theology and this hymn of Amen, which constitute the Theban theology, which talks about Mut, Amun, and Mut and Kansu, another Trinity family from Thebe. And what is considered as solid matter, pay attention, is in reality nothing more than the same form of matter which is experienced in what? Your dream state of consciousness, where you go where everything seems to be real. And it is. You just don't really understand it. So thus, what? The physical world that we live in is composed of the same material as what? As your dream world. We're in God's dream, right? So it's the dream world, in what? It is therefore subject to what? Vanish. When you wake up, as I say, right now God is asleep. He's asleep for, they call yugas, Kali Yuga, years and years of time. But when he wake up, every 12 to 15,000 years, he nod up and everything goes to pot and start all over again. They call it reset, okay, symbolically, all right, metaphorically. But the subject like that, we try to explain to you, we're in God's world. Same word that we go when we go to sleep, we go back to where we come from. We just don't know it. Okay, but watch this. Now, however, the same material as the dream world is therefore what? Subject to vanish as surely as what? As a dream does when you wake up. No matter good, bad, or indifferent, it's all gone. At Judgment Day, all your accolades, all your personal achievements, all your physical stuff, all gone. and see what kind of person you was. That's the name of the game. So, however, the phenomenal world which we live in, physical world, being part of what? God's dream. I just try to get that point across to you, boy. I like this. So, again, we're living in God's dream. Never mind, never mind. All you got to do is worry about you. Don't worry about God. You worry about you. Or, watch this, or a projection as opposed to that of a human being is longer lived. It may be, it may last, you ready? Billions of years. God's boat that he ride in is the boat of what? 1,000,000 years. So get the concept. Watch this. I'm trying to get you there. I'm a little long, but I'm trying to get you there. All right. So it may last billions of years. That means recycled over and over again from the standpoint of what? Your human lifetime. Hell, 100 years is a long time for us. Billion ain't even in the cards. Okay, so that's when they say God is uncomprehensible, meaning you can't fathom. Your mind can only conceive so far, so much. At a certain point, you just can't. That's where God is. Okay, understand that. So that's how far past he surpassed his creation. It don't come close to matching him in anything. Moving on. However, it is only a flash in the realm of eternity. Our lifetime, I mean nothing. What, dude? We talking about? It's been going on. It's going to continue going. We just a flash in the pan, so to speak. Okay, realize that and know your place. Do your best to get back home and be part of what? The big picture. So, thus, this is how the Egyptians lived in harmony for thousands of years. Not a couple hundred, not a couple thousand. No, thousands, 3, 4, 5,000. Okay, because at some point they stopped keeping record. Why? Before we are the last. The Egyptians, the Comatians are the last of the great civilizations. Why? We kept records. The one before us didn't. That's all. Documentation. Empirical proof. What? To substantiate the story. The myths is good, but the historical concepts prove what? Evidence that they did exist. We just can't say I can't make other people. We put a God that created himself. I can roll with that. I can live with that. I can't live with you genetically recreating us in some lab. I can't go with that. If that's what you want to sell, okay, I just ain't buying. How about that? Just like you ain't got to buy what I'm selling. Moving on. When you understand that, I'm breaking something down that you can understand. I ain't give you a whole bunch of just believe me nonsense. Watch this. It makes sense. Whether you follow it, believe it, like it or not, don't change the fact that it makes sense. Our ancient ancestors lived by it. Thus, the human concept, again, we back to being human, concept of time. From the time we come out of our mother's womb, time starts for us. Time don't mean not time goes around. It don't care. It's going to continue to go around. Whether you're here, not here, doing right, doing wrong, it don't make a difference. That sun going to rise. It's going to spend 12 hours. It's going to go down. And guess what? In 12 hours, it's going to rise again. It's been doing it for a long time. That's all. And thus, watch this. The concept, okay, watch the time to human being could be only what? A minute, a segment within the stream of eternity. What's eternity? A long ass time. Time, again, human, we're here for a brief minute of time. So the concept of relativity of time is expressed in, we got a hieroglyphic text entitled The Songs of the Harper. In one verse, the relativity of the passage of time is explained this way, as follows. Real smooth, watch this. The whole period of things done on the earth is but a period of a dream to God. So his creation, which he lives through in the physical form, gets to deal with time because it's going to run out. Nature deals with time. Moving on. So that's the concept. So now consider this. Consider your dreams. Okay, let's deal with us. You may have seen to occur over a period of hours during your dream. Time could went by. You may be born a kid and all of a sudden you went through life. You did all of that in your mind. That's why this thing up here is a bad mamma jamma. That's why every computer is mimicking what? Our brains that God gave us. And everyone is unique in its own way. That's a hell of a trick to pull off. Moving on. I ain't going there with the machines. But moving on. Okay. So, but during your dream, hours pass, days pass, months, even years pass. Yet, when you wake up, you done lived a lifetime, a couple generations, and you ain't did nothing in the physical world right here. Why? Because the body is here. The mind takes the trips. Okay. Astral projection. That means your mind can go back to the past. It can go into the future. Okay. It can do anything it wants. The body is at rest. Moving on. And God works the same way. If you metaphorically understand it, then you will get a better perspective. And you will now realize what? That the entire time that we only have as humans, you were what? Doing your span in the dream, years go by, you still in your bed asleep for a short period of time. 6, 7 hours maybe, some even less. Okay? I can't sleep 8 hours. If I get 5, 6 hours, I'm good with that. Why? I'm going to automatically wake up. My body feel like, okay, we ready to go. That's why. Everybody's biological clock is different. But now in the same way, watch this. The entire period of your physical existence, of the existence of the universe is nothing but what? A span of a short dream in the mind of God. That's, if you can understand and conceive that, that's what it's all about. Moving on. See, I got a little time I got to go. So from the advance, again, from the advance, that means you advanced on. You're a little bit better perspective. You have more insight and knowledge of what you're understanding. Neither time nor space can be said to what? Exist as something which is real. But I'm real. I can feel me. I can touch it. Everything. Au contraire, mon frère. Just as time, watch this, matter and physical objects within your dream, again, this is God's, all this is in God's dream, cannot be called real. If it can't be called real, I gave a breakdown in your mind. This ain't real in God's mind. Moving on. What's this? So I hope you understand it. But the entire dream world exists where? You ready? In the mind. In the mind. And does not require what? Real time or space. That's why it can go anywhere it wants. The body don't do nothing, but your mind can take it anywhere. That's the difference. And in the phenomenal, aka physical world, which is experienced while in what? The waking state, when you're conscious. Now you're in control of what you do. You're in control of the dream state, but it's a little bit different. That's what they're trying to get you to understand. And it is, watch this, in the waking state of consciousness is always what? Not real, but, and does not exist except where? In the mind of God. We're in his dream world right now, being able to be us, individuals. That's the name of the game. In this teaching, the concept is not only confirmed by the hymns to Amun, but it is also a primary teaching of the Memphite theology presented in the Shabaka inscription, aka the Shabaka stone, the stela, which is in 3 different languages, so they know how to decipher the hieroglyphs because of this. And watch this. In the reality, only eternity is real. And that's God, and that's where God dwells. The idea of what we can't conceive is where God dwells. How about that? Can you understand that? That's what we try to get you to understand in so many words. I try to get to the point. I see my clock running. So watch this. And since all matter in the family world, the physical world, is in reality what? Constituted of what? The thought and the energy of who? God, and changes in what? The manner are called time. It must be clearly understood that what? God is the only reality which exists. Before time, before anything, it was God. And they asked the question, I just got finished thinking the thing. They asked the question, if God created everything, who created God? Again, the power that God has, He created himself out of a thought. We just try to explain that to you, but people still, well, I guess they don't really know the story. So a lot of people, well, if God created anything, who created God? The more I try to teach you, the less you seem to be learning. But I'm going to keep on teaching. How about that? Let's go. I got a little more to go. I'm almost done. Now, what happened? God is eternity. Simple as that. What's eternity? Before time, after time. It's just going to be. It is. Exists before we here. It was something going on. God was busy doing what he was doing before that. Simple. Well, what before that? Again, existence. That something could happen. That's the whole idea. I just said watching again. I do a lot of children. I'm learning. But Hawkins said that man could have evolved without the help of some God, without the help of a conscious higher. I disagree 100%. But because, excuse me, he's what's my man, Hawkins, and but Neil deGrasse, that's his boy, and they can, dude, I know science, I respect science, but something, again, that part about not being able to conceive or perceive and answer a question, instead of saying, I don't know, they're going to put an answer to it. Moving on. God, again, is eternity. The concept of God is eternal. And the limited perceptions that of what? The human mind, us, human beings, and our puny senses are what human beings refer to as what we are, time and space and awareness, because we have conscience, so we can think. But before this was here, for it to be here, somebody had to think of it, conceive it. They try to break it down in the creation story. I tell you, put why? For the thought in his heart, the conscious mind, these two things come together, is going to create an entity. That's what he's saying to you. And Tahuti is the mind part to that. Where we at? Now, however, watch this. The perception, that's what we have as human beings, of time, only comes because we keep track by that damn thing up in the air. Before it was that thing, Ra, the sun that we know, time didn't exist. But it was existence. Why? Until human came here and put it to use as following. It was always there, just wasn't used. Again, we tell you that, we explain that to you. Now, in the time of space, and to do what? Due to human beings' limitations and the physical conditions of the human and the mind and body in the physical form, you can't comprehend levels that go beyond your understanding and your limited conscious mind. Simple as that. You have it when you go in the deep conscious state. You don't remember nothing, but you go there. Well, how do you know that? Again, question. Science proved that too. Okay, I understand that. But if you had the ability to truly perceive the entire universe at once, you'd be God. If you had that, that's who we are. But we're in the physical form, so we are limited to be physical in limitations in what we can actually do in this realm. Once you go back to God, the same thing he got, we got. Get the concept? But if you were to conceive the entire universe at once, an internal view, which is not restricted to what? Time and space, you would be God. Then what happened? You would discover that there is only what? Oneness. If everything coming out of him, he's the only thing that exists that's eternal, that can give, to be, to produce, to manifest in his what? Image. The what? Humans, spiritual beings, having human experience, but we got God gifts and qualities. And this is the view that what? The cosmic mind of God has towards his creation. We as humans, we as his creation, had the same ability in this physical state. How about that? He do his on a large scale. We can do ours on a little scale. How about that? So let's go. I'm about to wrap it up. So recall what? Recall the teachings of who? Our Memphite theology with Ptah on the creation story of the universe. What? By Ptah. Watch this. What did he do? Through thought alone. Thus, the task of what? The spiritual aspirant, you right thinkers, is to grow. Oh, I missed the whole line. Creation, universe. Okay. Recall the teachings, Memphite theology, on the creation of the universe by what? Ptah, through thought alone. Thus, the task of all spiritual aspirants, right thinkers, your job is to grow out of what? The limitations of your human limitations of the mind, to raise your conscious level and your body and be able to discover the cosmic vision, third eye, which lies where? Within you. And nothing I said or try to get you to understand is outside of you or your ability to do it. Moving on, wrapping it up. Now, when this is accomplished, it is the most beautiful thing in physical form you can ever encounter. Why? Because now the physical and the spirit became one. You know who you are. And there is a new perception of what? The universe and yourself. Why? You know you are one with it. This presents what? That the death of what? Your ego self in a human being. Hello. When you asked the Mason back in the day, well, what God needs to learn about Mason, he tell you, if I tell you, I got to kill you. And symbolically, I will kill you and raise you from the dead. So I don't just kill you. No, I raise you. If you're already spiritually ignorant, I don't need to do that. I just need to raise you. So now my job is a little bit easier. Why? Because you're already dead. All I got to do now is raise you. My job is to get you from that dead level of ignorance to the living level, raised up with knowledge of self, perpendicular on the square. And as human beings, and watch this, the death of the ego in the human being, and now it gives birth. What? This is called the resurrection, the born again. Watch this. And the birth, once you kill the ego self, you now give way to the birth of what? Your spiritual self, your spiritual life in what? Human form. You reach the level of nihas, enlightenment, knowledge of self. That's the goal of all human beings. Perspective. How? That's how the spirit goes back to where it come from. God. Again, wrapping it up. This should do it right here. This should be the coup de grace. God has assumed the form we call netters with the S, more than one. Or the paute, which is the company of God and goddesses, male and female aspects and principles that set forth from the one. And these netters are cosmic forces, aka nature, and energies that what? That sustain the universe, first of all, and which constitute, you ready? The physical matter that we believe the phenomenal world, physical world. But therefore, this physical universe is in reality what? You ready? The body of God, and everything in it is what? Divine, starting with Mayat, from the smallest atom to the largest celestial bodies in the heavens, and everything in between. That's us. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Didn't want to take too much time. It did go a little long, but I hope it was informative. That's the goal. I'm teaching now. You should be learning. I'm here to do just that. What I do is for you. And in closing, right thing, because you know the deal. Me, you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who know themselves have passed away. And if you do, we'll meet again one day.